Hola a todos. Hi everyone. Esta semana, this week, vamos a hablar de los quehaceres. This week, we're going to talk about los quehaceres. ¿Qué son los quehaceres? What is that? Pues vamos a ver. Let's see. Bueno, en este video, in this video, vamos a aprender, we're going to learn cómo hablar de los quehaceres, which are chores, y lo que tienes que hacer. ¿Sí? Entonces, we've seen that verb tener before, but here we have a little phrase with tener que. So we're going to find out what that means. Y finalmente, cómo hablar de lo que quieres hacer. So that verb should look familiar too. Querer, right? What does that mean? Pues vamos a ver. So we're going to look at some examples as usual and sort of see what we're expressing here. Okay? Let's see. Okay, tengo que poner y vaciar el lavaplatos. What's happening here? If we look at this image, ¿qué es eso? So if you look at this word here, nuevo vocabulario, ¿verdad? New vocab. Lavaplatos is actually a combination of two words, right? So maybe we've seen this word before. Lavar, see? Lavar means to wash. And then we have platos, which is a friend of English. Yes, means plates. Muy bien. So what is a lavaplatos? A plate washer. Yes, the dishwasher. So, tengo que poner y vaciar el lavaplatos. What does that mean? So looking now at tengo que, we know that that tengo is a form of the verb tener, right? But what is it expressing here with the que? Tengo que. Think about that. So we have poner, which is to put, and vaciar, which is to empty. So those are two things that we do with the dishwasher, right? So what is that tengo que expressing? Think about that. Okay. Mi mamá y yo tenemos que lavar la ropa. Okay. So here we're talking about mi mamá y yo, right? My mom and I. Tenemos que lavar la ropa. So we're using a different form still of tener, right? Tenemos que. So now it's we, right? Mi mamá y yo. So lavar la ropa, we just learned that, or we just remembered that lavar means to wash. So what is la ropa based on this image? Piénsalo. And again, what are we expressing with this tenemos que? Normalmente, lavar la ropa, doing that action, is that something we normally want to do or no? Think about that. And what is tenemos que expressing? Okay, vamos a ver. Eric tiene que trapear el piso todos los días. Okay, Eric tiene que trapear el piso todos los días. So here we're talking about Eric, ¿verdad? So first we have this, trapear el piso. Based on this image, what does it look like Eric is doing? Trapear el piso. Looks like he has a bucket of water, right? Tiene agua. So it's not sweeping, but mopping. Muy bien. Trapear el piso is to mop the floor. And then if we look at this other part, again, we're using that verb tener, right? Now we're talking about Eric. So Eric tiene que trapear el piso. Again, do you think that's something that Eric wants to do? Is that a good thing or not so good? What is tiene que expressing? Think about that. Okay, mis hermanos tienen que cortar el césped y regar las plantas. Muy bien. So what's going on in that first image on the left? Here we're talking about mis hermanos this time, right? My brothers. ¿Qué es cortar el césped? On the left, what's going on? Sí, cortar el césped is to cut the grass. Good. Y a la derecha, on the right, ¿qué es regar las plantas? Sí, to water the plants, regar las plantas. Muy bien. And again here, we're using a form of tener, right? What are we expressing when we say mis hermanos tienen que cortar el césped y regar las plantas? Again, what kinds of actions are these? Is this something that they're doing by choice or not? What do you think? Piénsalo. Okay, here we have two images, right? So the question is, ¿qué quieres hacer hoy? Who am I asking, or who am I asking about if I say, ¿qué quieres? Looking at that ending, tú, right? I'm asking about you. ¿Qué quieres hacer hoy? And then the response is, quiero ir al parque, pero tengo que limpiar la casa. Okay, so what are we asking here when we ask quieres? What does the verb querer mean? When I ask, ¿qué quieres hacer? Sí, what do you want to do? Muy bien. So in the response, quiero, what form is that? Yo, right? I'm responding to the question. Quiero ir al parque, pero tengo que limpiar la casa. So here we have a little contrast, right? That pero means but. So I want to do something, right? Ir al parque, on the left there, go to the park. Pero tengo que limpiar la casa. What does it look like is happening in that second picture on the right? ¿Qué es limpiar la casa? Sí, to clean the house, right? Good, so we've got this contrast with quiero ir al parque, I want to go to the park, pero tengo que limpiar la casa. So what's going on with limpiar la casa? Is that what I want to do? No, so what is tengo que expressing there? Think about it. María Elena quiere ir a la fiesta, pero tiene que lavar el carro primero. Okay, we've got another contrast here, right, with María Elena quiere ir a la fiesta. So again, ir a la fiesta, to go to the party, is that a good thing or not? Sí, quiere ir a la fiesta, that's something she wants to do. But the second part, pero, which means but, right, tiene que lavar el carro. So what is lavar el carro? Sí, to wash the car. So again, she wants to go to the party, but tiene que lavar el carro. What is that tiene que expressing? Piénsalo, think about that. Okay, queremos relajarnos, pero tenemos que recoger las cosas. So who are we talking about here? Just by looking at that verb form, who is queremos talking about? That nos is a clue there too. Yeah, nosotros, we queremos relajarnos, right? So we want to relax, pero, again, we've got a contrast here, but tenemos que recoger las cosas. So what is recoger las cosas? Looking at that image on the right, a la derecha, what's going on there? Kind of a mess, right? Entonces, recoger las cosas, to pick up, okay? To clean up, no? So again, queremos relajarnos. We want to relax ourselves. We want to relax. Pero tenemos que recoger las cosas. What is that tenemos que expressing there? Bien. Okay, so this week we're going to be answering these two questions. ¿Qué tienes que hacer tú y qué quieres hacer? So based on those examples and images, hopefully we've gotten the idea of what is tener que expressing. ¿Qué tienes que hacer means what do you have to do, right? Versus what do you want to do? ¿Qué quieres hacer? So we'll be working with these two. Entonces, para practicar, to practice, we're going to start with a repaso, a little review of tener. It's got a little stem change, right? So there's a chart to review that, the forms of tener. Vocabulario, right? New vocab on los quehaceres, or the chores, and a little activity to go with it, okay? Then there's also, if you want to do some extra, a supplemental on tener que, querer, and ir a. So if you want to do, if you have the extra time and want some more practice, there's a supplemental using those three. And finally, if you have the time, please watch the video from our pronunciation workshop on the single R versus double R, ere versus R video, okay? So I'll show you guys those things real quick on Teachable. Okay, so we're in our Semana 7 handout, and you're going to scroll down to la página 4, page 4, to review those forms of tener. Okay, so do your best to remember the forms yourself, and then you can check your answers with the answer key, okay, which has the forms here for you. Okay, so that's the first thing, reviewing tener. Then here's the structure with tener que, okay, and some vocabulario, new vocab on the chores. And if you go to the previous pages, you also have that vocabulary de la casa, so some house vocabulary. But the main thing here is the chores. What do we have to do? Okay, so that's on la página 5, page 5. And then an activity here, en la casa. So using that vocabulary above, we're going to assign chores to each of the family members to keep the house tidy. But we want to pay attention to their likes, their dislikes, and what grosses them out. We want to be considerate. So to divide up all the chores, we should give each family member 3 things to do, okay? So for example, if we look at la madre Ana, okay, a ella le gusta estar en la cocina y hablar, okay? No le gusta doblar o planchar la ropa, okay? She doesn't like to fold or iron the clothes. Le da asco, it grosses her out, sacudir los muebles. It grosses her out to dust the furniture. So, based on her likes and dislikes, maybe we can give Ana the chore of, Ana tiene que cocinar, no? Para la familia. Since she likes to be in the kitchen, that might be a good chore for her, okay? So again, we're going to be using that phrase tener que, and since it's Ana here, we're using the form tiene que cocinar para la familia. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there with that activity. And then again, remember that along with the answer key, you have audio. Okay, so when you're checking your answers on that activity, you can also scroll up.
En la casa.
You have this audio.
1. La abuelita tiene que cocinar, lavar la ropa y regar las plantas. 2.
Okay, so those are just some sample answers. There's, you can decide what chores each family member has, but it's great to listen along with the audio as you check those sample answers to hear the pronunciation and repeat with it, okay? And then remember, if you have the extra time and want some more practice, under Semana 7, there's a supplemental which uses tener que, querer, and ir a. So 3 different forms that we're going to be working with this week. So there are 3 different activities to go with that. And again, you also have an answer key and audio to go along with it, right?
Freestyle Language Center, Spanish 1A.
Okay, so be sure to take advantage of that. And finally, again, if you can watch this video from our pronunciation workshop, the R versus the double R, that's going to be our sound to focus on for dictation this week. Okay? Eso es todo. That's it. Y nos vemos en clase. Hasta luego.